If you think you have frizzy, wavy, or curly hair and you're interested in the steps I take to go from frizz ball to curly girl, this video is for you. I use primarily Less brand products and never brush my hair when it's dry. So let me walk you through my wash day step by step, showing you all the products that I use from Less and beyond. So first off, you're obviously going to start in the shower and get your hair really wet. This is important because Less loves water and the products are super concentrated. So start with step 1 of whichever 3-step system you bought for wavy, curly, or coily hair. And I like to focus on the roots, and then you'll see this motion I use to move the excess shampoo down my ends. This ensures that all of my hair gets washed, but it's not concentrated at the ends and drying them out. Once that's washed out completely, I actually go in and do step 1 a second time. Yes, I shampoo twice because I don't wash my hair very often. So I want to get it really, really clean before moving on to step 2, which is the conditioner. And here you'll see that I focus on the ends first and use any excess around the rest of my head afterwards. Then I detangle with my Less brush while I'm still in the shower and have conditioner in my hair. I also do some finger combing and sometimes even add a bit more conditioner based on how it feels. I have a lot of hair, so this may not be something you need to do at all. Now you'll see I start to do this squishing motion and cup extra water in my hands. The more water you use with Less, the better. This is called the squish to condition method, and I really like all the extra hydration it gives me. You can also look up the bowl method on YouTube. Just make sure that you try and reach every part of your head, no matter which method you use. Always make sure that you rinse it out really, really thoroughly. And every 4 wash days, I will add the Less deep conditioner before step 3, again focusing primarily on the mids to ends, and then using whatever's left over on my hands on the rest of my head. I never use the deep conditioner right on my scalp or roots because I don't want to weigh it down since I love a lot of volume up there. So I detangle again and then throw all of my hair up in a clip for at least 5 minutes, though you can definitely leave it on for longer. Before I rinse, I squish to condition again. And then step 3 is the all-in-one leave-in conditioner, and I start with the mids and ends before moving product up into the top of my head. And a little bit of brushing here helps distribute the product. And then I squish to condition yet again, but this time without adding any extra water because I don't want to rinse out the product. But it's very important that your hair is still very wet at this point. You want to make sure that you hear this. And that's how you know it's wet enough for styling to keep all the frizz to a minimum. I use a Denman brush for styling, but you can also use the Less brush, and there are loads of YouTube videos about different ways to use styling brushes for wavy and curly hair. And what you see here is about 18 months or so of trial and error using different methods, even on different sections of my own hair. I have 2B and C waves in the front of my hair and on the top, but I actually have 3A curls in the back, quite spirally back there. So I even use different methods on different sections of my own hair. Then I always do a lot more scrunching to really punch up those curl clumps before moving on to the next step. At this stage, you should still be hearing that squishing sound when you scrunch up your hair. You still want a lot of water in your hair. Now it's time to add the Less Irish Sea Moss Gel. You'll have to play with how much you need for your own hair and which method you like best for applying it. I do the praying hands method to distribute all the gel all over before scrunching it in, so the gel penetrates as much of the hair shaft as possible. And if you find that that squishing sound is gone once you do start doing the scrunching after you've added your gel, you want to make sure that you add more water because that extra hydration is seriously going to reduce the frizz. So I use the Less sprayer for that. And the real trick is here that the more you scrunch, the more curl you'll get. So I will probably spend a good 3 or 4 minutes now just scrunching like crazy. Then you can use the Less t-shirt towel or any microfiber towel to microplop. This is no longer about scrunching, but rather about releasing all of that excess water before diffusing or air drying. You'll see that I'm not really going over the same sections of hair very often. This is really just about eliminating that squishy sound, getting rid of that excess water so that your drying time is reduced. One last thing you can do before diffusing if you love root volume like I do is add root clips. These are just cheap ones from Amazon that I've liked best out of all the root clips I've tried. You definitely do not need a brand name clip for this. Finally, I actually use 2 diffusers right now, but you really only need 1. I just happen to have 2, and the Bellissima is great if you have bangs or not a lot of hair. When my hair is longer, it's just too much for this diffuser. Plus, it doesn't have a cool shot. My first step is always to hover diffuse and focus on my bangs before switching to my other blow dryer. So you'll see I hover diffuse until my hair is about 50% dry. And then if I want extra hold that day because I'm going out or something, I'll add some mousse at this stage. Less doesn't make a mousse, not yet anyway. And I'm still playing with different brands, so I can't recommend one just yet. Then finally, I'll use the Bio-Ionic blow dryer with the Black Orchid diffuser, which even held all of my hair before I chopped off 7 inches. It's a great one if you have a lot of hair. And if you're new to diffusing, there are loads of YouTube videos about different diffusing methods, and I've tried a lot of them. But my biggest tip is just to keep moving your head around and diffusing at different angles, and really let gravity work in your favor to help give you volume. This stage will take a different amount of time for everyone depending on how much hair you have and how much water it holds. But the key is that you want to make sure that once it's nearly dry, and I'm talking like 98% dry, really, really close to dry, you're going to want to go in with the blower temperature on cool and then add cool shots to really lock in all those curls. This is an important part that helps you set the curls that you've just worked so hard to get. You're looking for a really hard cast, and once you have that and your hair is 110% dry, it's time for the Less Elixir oil. I love using this to scrunch out the crunch, and you can do it with bare hands, but I do like to add a few drops of the elixir oil. I find that it really just helps break up that cast beautifully. So I'll rub it between my hands and start at the ends and really scrunch and tousle my hair to get it soft and super, super bouncy. If I'm not heading out right away, I may also go back in and add those root clips to my dried hair, just to especially add a little bit more volume right around the crown of my head. But this step is totally optional depending on how much time you have. And after you've gone to all of this hard work, your hair should be set for the day. Later at night, I'll sleep in a silk cap to try and preserve all this hard work. And I also sleep on a silk pillowcase every night. So tell me, what are your favorite techniques and tools for wash day? Let me know in the comments, and have a great hair day.